Now in another aspect, all we are now going to do, the very first thing is we are going to define a position fixed property over here. In that essence, the very first thing that we are going to do, we are going to comment this absolute position off from here. And in the very first case, all we are going to do, we are going to comment out this position relative that we had provided for this position tester element. Now in case of this third box, first of all, let's get back to our project and reload, and we can see that all those three boxes are right back into the position. And in this particular case, what we are going to do, we are going to define a position fixed. From where? From top 0% or from top 0 pixels. Get back to your project. So we have provided a fixed position property, and it will be leaving no margin at all from the top position. That is what is been defined over here. So let's get back to our project and reload, and we can see that practically it is leaving no margin from the top position of the mother wrapper. It is now as a default assuming that the mother wrapper is the original parent div from where all these conditions should be applied. And in case if we now scroll down, there's no particular scroller over here. So first of all, let's get back to our project, and here all we are going to do, we are going to declare a height for, say it is 700 pixels. Reload. Now if we scroll down, we can see that this blue box is practically fixed into this particular top position. It is now attached to this topmost position, and it is leaving no gap behind, and every other elements inside, those are practically scrolled down below this particular blue box. In this particular case, we defined the position of this blue box to be fixed in the top 0 position, and that is what it is exactly doing. The syntax here practically fixes up this blue box into the top position, and we can see that every other elements that is present inside this HTML page, it is practically getting scrolled down below this particular blue box here. Now what if we remove this commented syntax here and turn this position tester into a position relative condition again? Press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, and we can see that it practically useless. We are practically defining that a particular element inside a particular HTML browser, it should be fixed into a particular position. So what is that position? That position is the top position, and you are fixing it up into there. Now in the last case, we are going to define this position sticky. So that is what we are going to do. Now in case of this blue box, all we are now going to do, we are going to make this position sticky. Getting back to our project and reloading, and we can see that the blue box is again back to its prior position that we have provided it earlier. But if we scroll, we can see that the blue box is now static to this top 0 position, and the rest of these things, those things are scrolling out. To understand this property better, first of all, let's get back to our stylesheet.css, and in case of height, instead of this 700 pixels, we are providing here a height of 900 pixels. Reloading. Now if we scroll down, we can see that the rest of these elements, those are practically getting on, those are practically disappearing, but this blue box, it is now sticking into the original position, into the defined position of top 0 pixels that we have declared in this particular case, top 0. So these are some few positional properties, those are being used in this particular case. We can use position relative, and another thing, if we just remove this position relative from here, reload, you may see that it is working. There is absolutely no problem with it. So position relative is actually making no difference. But if we remove this top 0 position from here, and if we reload, we can see that it is practically making a difference. In this particular case, no definition of where this stickiness of elements will be seen. It is practically been defined into the syntax, and that is why it is now making some abnormal behavior. It is practically getting scrolled up again because it doesn't know where to fix itself, because we haven't defined any kind of definition, any kind of syntax where this particular blue box or this particular blue element should fix it up. So in case of position sticky, all we need to do, we need to define this particular top 0 position, and if we reload now, we can see that this blue box is working again. So these are the positional properties that we are intended to discuss in this particular tutorial. As a whole, for say, we have defined here this position relative, position absolute, position static, fixed, and sticky. In the next tutorial, we are going to create a horizontal menu with a sticky condition. That means this particular menu bar, on scrolling up, it will be sticked into this top position of this particular page, and everything below will be scrolled up. Only this particular horizontal menu will be sticking to its extreme topmost position. So that's it for today's tutorial. Hope you guys have liked this tutorial. If you guys have liked this tutorial, then do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button down below. Hope to see you guys in our next tutorial. Till then, bye.